Hi kids. I wanted to go over the math homework that we assigned this week. This week's lesson was on perimeter and area, and I wanted to talk about that a little bit. I know it's hard to learn in this way that you're having to do right now. It's not like being in class, but I want to try to bring something to you that will help you understand some of this stuff that you're going to need for 5th grade. The first thing I want to start with is let's talk about perimeter. And what you need to know about perimeter is the perimeter is the distance around a shape. Perimeter is the distance around a shape, okay? Let's look a little bit at this page here. And I hope you can see this. Okay, Berto walked around the park on the rectangular path shown. How far did Berto walk? And we have a key word in our example 1 there. So now would be the time whenever I would say, what's the key word? And you would raise your hands because everybody would know it, right? The key word here is going to be around, okay? So that is a clue that we're looking for the perimeter. So here's our shape. He walked around the park. So he started here and he walked around it. He walked around the park. And that around is your key word to let you know that they're looking for perimeter. How do we find perimeter? If we're going to find the perimeter of a shape, you're going to add up all the sides. Side plus side plus side plus side. Okay, so here's the problem that I see. We only have 2 sides labeled. So how in the world are we supposed to know what those are? Well, those are congruent. Those are equal, right? So if this is 12, that's going to be 12. And if this is 6, that side's going to be 6. The corresponding side is going to be the same as the side that it's equal to. So what do we do now? Now we do this, right? We say, okay, 12 plus 12. We add it up in our head. No! Here's what we do. Like we've talked this year about scratch paper. I have no problem with you doing a little bit in your head, but it doesn't hurt to take that extra second and say, okay, here's what I see. 12 plus 12 is 24. 6 plus 6 is going to be 12. Your answer is going to be 36 yards. And don't forget to label, okay? Now, jump ahead a little bit. If the perimeter is the distance around a shape, what's this part going to be in here? And I almost gave it away by saying this area. This is going to be the area. The perimeter is the distance around a shape. This is going to be the area. That's for the next lesson. Okay. So, on my pen. Okay. So on example 1, your perimeter right here is going to be 36 yards. So Berto walked 36 yards. Okay. Perimeter is the distance around a shape. Let's go to the next page. This is page 826. Okay, so normally what I would do here, let's go down to this guided practice. Let's get this real big here. Okay, on the test, and I know we're not taking it, but I'm still going to teach like I normally would. Find each perimeter. You're not going to get this question, but we have to know this skill so that we can apply it to a word problem. We have a square. How do we know that's a square? First of all, those are all equal. Now, what do you think that means right there? I see 4 little, what are those? Those are right angles. That lets us know that's a right angle, okay? 8, the length is 8 centimeters on each side. We have 4 of them. 8 times 4 is going to be 32 centimeters. So your perimeter is going to be 32 centimeters. Well, let's go to 2. Okay, again, we have some right angles. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 right angles. A right angle is formed at 90 degrees. So that tells us that's going to be 90 degrees. That's going to be something else we're going to cover before this year's out. All right, so we've got side plus side plus side plus side. Perimeter's the distance around a shape. 7 plus 7, we're going to have 14. 4 plus 4, 8. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 22 inches. Okay, so there's 1 and 2 for you. There's 1 and 2. All right, let's move on. One page down. I'm on page 827 now, and this is number 3. So this is the independent practice portion where you practice this on your own. And this is where I'll give you a minute to say, okay, everybody go, and I would walk around and see how you're doing. The one thing I want to make sure that I stress here is that I don't want you to do this in your head. I know that you probably can. I want you to take the extra seconds to come over here and show your work. And be sure. Show your work. Use scratch paper. There's nothing wrong with using this area right here. And here's what I mean by that. For me, I would not want to do this. I wouldn't want to add it up that way. I just wouldn't want to. I would like to make it as easy as possible. So we know 8 plus 8 is going to be 16. 6 plus 6 is going to be 12. This problem right here is much easier to do, in my opinion, than this one. 28 millimeters. Don't forget to label. Perimeter is the distance around the shape. There's your number 3. There's 4. Ooh, I like these. Whenever they're all the same, that's easy. We can go 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12. I'd rather really do this. 12 times 4, we're going to have 48 feet. 48 feet for number 4. Okay, look at 5. Oh gosh, hold on. They forgot something. What do we do now? We only have 15 and 3. Okay, so if they only gave us, and I can tell you this, you're gonna have to know how to do that. Their chances are they're gonna give you something like this that's gonna leave out the corresponding measurements, and you're probably gonna get it in a word problem, which is coming up in a minute. Okay, so that's gonna be 15 below because it's equivalent. So that's gonna be 15, and this one's gonna be 3. I see 30 plus 6, 36 centimeters is your perimeter there. And remember, I can't say it enough, your perimeter is the distance around a shape. It's the distance around the shape, okay? All right, look at 6. Oh, they did it to us again. No problem, because you are smart and you know that this is going to be 8. This is going to be 3. Now, if you feel like you're getting good at this now and you've got some smaller numbers, I don't see anything wrong with saying 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay? If you're lucky enough to get a problem like that on the test, just make sure you get it right. 16 plus 6, that didn't take very long. 22. We've talked about this year, you've got to just come over here and just make sure with your scratch paper. You've got to come make sure it's worth it. It's worth it. Don't be lazy. All right, here, oh my gosh, here's some algebra. All right, we can do this. Find the unknown side length. Write an equation to find the perimeter. Now, this is the next level of the okay. All right. 10, 10, 6, That's got to be 6. That's not bad for us, is it? The unknown side length is, make sure you can see here, the unknown side length is 6 yards. Agree? Now it says write an equation to find the perimeter. Let me back up a little bit here. Write an equation to find the perimeter. Okay. We have not been here since March the 13th, and I hope that you have not forgotten what that word means. What's an equation? An equation is a, hopefully you said number sentence. An equation is a number sentence. So if we had to do this on the test, we would say, let's put it right here. We would say 10 yards plus 10 yards plus 6 yards plus 6 yards equals, I see 20, I see 12, 32 yards. Okay, so this is what they're going to be looking for. They're going to be looking for that equation. If they tell you to write an equation, you've got to write an equation. Okay? You've got to write an equation. Okay, let's try that again on 8. Oh, good. I like the way this looks. Okay, so this is obviously going to be, we have 4, 4, 4. That's going to be 4. The unknown side length is going to be 4 times 4, which is 16 inches. But we still have to have our equation. We still got to have that equation in there. So, 4 inches plus 4 inches plus 4 inches plus 4 inches equals 16 inches. How you feel? Are you good on that? Okay, take a minute. Look at 7 and 8. Make sure you have your equation. You've got to have that equation. That's where your next level of DOK comes in, where they make you create the equation. Okay? All right, let's go to 9 and 10. Let's go to 9 and 10. What in the world? Okay, I think I know what to do here. Find the perimeter of each rectangle in units. Now, at the top I see, now perimeter's the, let me get in here close. And let me change my pen because this is blue, and blue on blue doesn't work. Alright. Perimeter is the distance around a shape. So it doesn't matter where we start, we're going around the shape. So I always like to start here. How do we know what the label, how do we know the perimeter? Let's see. We can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We can do that. Or we could say 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have units. The measurement there is in units. So if it's units, we'll just label it units. Your perimeter there is going to be 16 units. Okay? Here comes this one. Okay, let's do the perimeter here. Now let's try it a little different. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here's always what I would recommend you do. Count it twice. Count it twice. Just to make sure. If you're going to count it once, it's worth taking a couple seconds to count it twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I feel confident. That's going to be 8 units. This side is going to be 1, 2. 2 units. So that's got to be 8. This has got to be 2. Now, if you were here sitting in front of me like I wish you were,